Hey everyone, welcome to the Meme Team podcast. We're going to have a bonus episode to talk about the F1 Cadillac announcement for their two drivers for the upcoming 2026 season. So, Vincenzo, do you want to give us just like a basic summary?
The easiest way to put it is that Cadillac has officially, reason I stress officially is because most of us knew that this was happening.
Right.
And those of us with any little bit of insider knowledge knew it was definitely happening for a long time. But I think the general public knew that it was happening. Valtteri Bottas put out a video, I think that was on Instagram.
Mhm.
He was like looking at a Cadillac or whatever he was doing like with a Cadillac. And,
Right.
you know,
The video
I
showed
remember
him
saying,
approaching the Cadillac cars, and then he's talking about the seats, and like someone's asking him, "What do you think about this
yeah,
seat?"
and he was
And
like, right. Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah.
But anyway, so like the official announcement yesterday was not a shocker, but it was good to see the direction, I think, where Cadillac's
Mhm.
going. So they brought on Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, whom most will know as Red Bull's number 2 for Max Verstappen's championships. He came in second in the championship himself. At one point, Bottas had an incredible run with Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, and he himself finished second. He was runner-up in the championship twice.
Mhm.
So two experienced drivers. They're both 35 years old. One is from Mexico. One hails from Finland. I think there's a lot to be excited
Yeah,
for
definitely.
both these guys, and I think that there's also a lot like the F1 world can get excited about. They're two guys that you really can't like not like.
Mhm.
I don't think there was anyone that was like, why these two? You had
Yeah.
some of your detractors are like, where's an American? And there
Yeah,
just
I saw
isn't
that
one
and then
really
like, oh, why
readily
isn't
available.
there somebody young coming in? Like give a chance to like, somebody new that's been in the queue for like a while. But I don't think
Yeah,
that was what Cadillac was wanting. I think at least
no,
for this initial run, the main thing that they want is kind of to build up the team, build up the
yeah,
marketing, and build up like the name of it.
mm,
And this is the
yep,
best and fastest and easiest way to do that is to kind of ride the coattails of two of the more experienced drivers. I think the fact that they were the two top number twos for the last two world
yeah,
champions is
mhm,
going to fuel more of the competition of
yeah.
like who's going to be the better driver. One of the funny ones that I saw was like, which of the number two drivers is going to be the new number two to to the new number
To the
one of
yeah,
like the team, right? Um,
it's definitely interesting,
mhm.
right? Like this direction that they've gone in. It says a lot about what Cadillac wants to do. I had wrote about this in my newsletter yesterday.
Yeah,
And, one of the things that I was talking about was just how some people are like, oh, it's a safe bet. Well, when you're a brand new team,
right.
right? Like we haven't had a brand new team in a
Hmm.
while. So you're a brand new team that's met, there's been quite a bit of resistance around it. You paid a
Hmm.
hefty, hefty anti-dilution fee, $450 million just to even come to the table.
Wow.
Um, the facilities that have been built, all the money on staffing, like there's a lot that's been spent here. I don't want to say that you're not going to win in 2026, but like
It's
that
pretty guaranteed.
you're probably not going to be extremely competitive in 2026. So the big thing is about avoiding mistakes,
Hmm.
avoiding setbacks. And
Yeah,
I
it
think the best
sounds
way to
like
do
what
that.
they've been doing is taking risks on the other side there, and they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
take more of a safe bet with the
Yeah.
drivers and who they're bringing in, which makes total
Yep.
sense, right? And
Mm-hmm.
still, I mean, there's still some risk, right? I mean, because some of like the detractors will say, like, are they past their, their peak? Are they past like the point where they're actually going to be doing much or be competing? And so to that, I like for me, it ended up being more of a like marketing play, like to build the brand. So brand building, brand awareness, like that's kind of like the huge angle of like what I'm seeing here. Just the way that the announcements were made, right? Like they're already attaching themselves of like Braun GP, right? Like that was kind of what
Mm-hmm.
I felt the vibes were from the Cadillac announcement that had Keanu, kind of talking about it. He did the, documentary on, I think it was Hulu, about like a
Yep.
team, like an upstart team that kind of came in, and started from like nothing, but like went pretty
Yeah.
far, right? And then they also like had each of the drivers make their own announcements on their own like social medias. Um,
Yep.
and the Bottas one, really stood out because it was like him, waving an American flag while riding. I'm not sure what that's called.
It was a wakeboard, I
A
think. It was a wakeboard.
wakeboard.
Yeah.
Um, And it just like really, I felt like hit the moment of like, rah, rah America, without either one of
Yep.
them being American. And I saw that like one of the other like viral pieces making its way out there is the video of showing that the Bottas video is like actually real and it's not AI, right? So it's like
Yeah, there was a
really
lot of people thought it was AI.
right, right. And it, because like the photo looks like very good. And
Yeah.
he's got the can in his hand. So it's just like one of those, I don't want to say it's like making fun of Americans because it's like, it was actually like in good fun. And
Yeah.
I felt like it's like the, cool like American vibes or stereotypes that you do kind of like that people have of us, but it still made us like look good. And then you had the Sergio Perez one, which was a bit more muted. But he did kind of play up that whole, Mexico America alliance of like, joining forces, which I thought was like an interesting angle. So I
Yeah.
do feel like the Bottas one is like, more of like the personality one. And then like Sergio's gonna, come in and be like the more serious one.
Yeah, I mean, he's a character. He's loved for a reason.
Mhm,
Sergio has a massive, massive following in Mexico. Like he's
mhm.
a hero in Mexico. Sergio was with Max for all 4 of his championships. He was number 2. Sergio just left the team last year. He's a guy that'll, he'll do anything marketing wise. Like he did a lot of that with Red Bull when he was
Mhm,
there.
mhm.
Max didn't do a lot of the marketing stuff.
Right.
Checo did. And so he knows what he has to do when he has to do it, but he just plays into his personality, right?
Mhm.
He's kind of like the nice guy, he's the family guy.
I mean, the team
Um,
player, that was like a huge thing that he was like known for, especially in the
yeah,
2021 championship,
21, yep.
right? Like how far he was willing to
Hmm.
go to like help, Verstappen get his first
Oh, for sure.
championship, right?
The announcements are great. A lot of hype. It was a perfect week to bring it back. They didn't do it during the break. They did it race week coming
Right.
back from the break. So attention is an all-time high. This week everyone's excited and talking about, okay, racing is back.
Mm.
Formula One's back this week. And so great timing from the Cadillac team. But these 2 drivers, I think the right move from a marketing perspective, partnerships, sponsorships that are coming to the team. New teams need money. This is what
Mhm.
I think a lot of people don't understand. Like teams need money to function. Teams need
Mhm.
money to build. They need money for R&D. Like you have to spend money. And if you're not bringing it in through sponsorships, you're just burning, you know,
Right.
whatever that initial investment is until someone's like, all right, you're not making me any money. Like we can't just keep
Yeah.
funding this. Right. So sponsorship money is very important. And Checo carries a very nice relationship with Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim. Very, very important, I think, to this operation. And it's still America, right? It's like
Mhm.
North America. So that works. But yeah, I'm overall, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for it. I think the marketing aspect of Valtteri is really cool because he's
Mhm.
another one of those, like he feels almost like Ricardo to an extent, where Ricardo was like an adopted American at one
Right.
point.
Mhm.
Valtteri feels like he can be an adopted Australian, he can be an
Right.
adopted Canadian, he could be an adopted, American if he wants to, because he's just like he's a cool dude. Like
Yeah.
genuinely, like I hate to just, I don't have another word for him. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, that was part of what I enjoyed about the Easter eggs that he was dropping, right? Because
yeah,
he's had a couple of, social media posts that kind of allude to the Americana, right? He's got the one where he's eating tacos, with
yeah,
like the cowboy hat and like the mustache. Part
yep,
of like what I had thought was happening is he's like slowly losing the Australian look to look more, American. Because he still has the mullet a little bit, but now he has
yeah.
like the mustache a little bit, and then he has like the cowboy hat. So it just like felt he was going, more that way. He's also like, such an intense athlete, right? Like he does like the bike rides. Like one of the things actually talking to my in-laws who live in Kansas, there's like a race that happens where they live, and he goes to that race and competes in it. So that's like he's been spending more and more time also like in America. He was in Colorado where he's wearing the cowboy hat. I do think that that's way to elbow his way in to the whole like American like fans, right? One thing also that I heard, when people question like, oh, why didn't they just go for an American driver, is that there just really aren't that many American drivers that they can like, point to or like can bring in. And I think because they're trying to be more safe in like bringing in that experience in order to build a better car for I think it's 2029 that the rules are changing again, right?
29.
Right. So hopefully by then they will have like used their experience to build up a better car. And then obviously now they'll probably be keeping track of like American drivers. But I just didn't feel like they
Yeah.
would take that risk now.
No, it would have been probably foolish for them to risk that. And realistically is like they're not even using their own engines for this
Right.
first stint here. So 26 to 20, they'll have Ferrari engines. They should compete to whatever extent they compete. But being able to, have time to develop their own engine, being able to have time to bring in sponsorship dollars, being able to have time to recruit or scout more of the American talent.
Mhm.
Maybe it builds more excitement around American talent too. Like
Right.
this is another aspect of it and why you probably didn't want to put a rookie. I mean, think about it. They put two 35-year-old drivers in the seat. Well, those
Mhm.
guys aren't going to race forever. So any
Right.
young driver who's in this, on the come up is like, oh, maybe I want to drive in Formula One, or maybe I want to
Mhm.
drive in the Formula
Right.
series, feeder series. Maybe this is where I want to go. Maybe they forego the NASCAR, IndyCar, and they try to go Formula racing because they see excitement, they see opportunity. So I think that's what all of this does for Cadillac, for America, for F1 in general. It's exciting. I mean, I have seen so much positive feedback from people about the way they released it, just what the team is doing.
Yeah.
As long as they keep on this trajectory, I think we're, it's looking good, and it will be fun to have an actual. I know, sorry, Gene, but like
I was gonna
this
that
to
was
me
gonna be
is
my
like a
next
real
question.
American team.
Yeah, does this feel like it's more of an American team versus like Haas? Because that's kind of what it
Yeah,
feels
I
like
mean,
now, and they're actually
yeah.
they're like, really going in on those vibes, whereas like it feels like Haas kind of stays away from that, like doesn't want to say that they're like an American team that is in North Carolina, you know?
There's probably so many reasons. Maybe having a Russian sponsor for a long time didn't help. I mean,
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not
So
not
that's one
competing,
of
not
the
ever really being competitive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of the other things too, where I do feel like they are kind of going into that, American heritage type vibe, right? Like,
Hmm.
and trying to pick up American fans. I think that's really smart of
Yeah.
them to do that, in order to hopefully grow the sport here in America, and then also like their team, themselves, and start picking up those fans, and hopefully start creating that community of like F1 fans that want to pay attention because it's an American team with an American, brand that more people recognize, right? Like a lot of people just don't even recognize Haas like as a, company or brand. But with
Yeah.
Cadillac, it's like, okay, we know that brand, and know
Yeah.
what to expect a little bit more. So I think it was a great
Which is wild
rollout
because
overall. Oh,
Haas in the machining space, in
yeah.
manufacturing, massive name. But
Hmm.
Cadillac, everybody knows Cadillac, right?
Right, right,
So
right, right. I do wonder if that's going to then create another avenue for them to start, selling their, their like the cars, the Escalades, and all like all the regular cars that, for the general
100%.
public.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Aston Martin has directly credited their Formula One presence to increasing sales of certain cars. The Vantage, I believe it is, whichever one is the safety car. I know Lawrence Stroll said specifically, like they sold out their allotment of them or whatever it was, like pretty quickly, thanks to Formula One. I mean, it invites a different audience. It invites a different level of buyer,
Right.
and so and Cadillac does make some premium products, so
Hmm.
it's people that maybe weren't interested before might be a little more interested now. And
Hmm.
Cadillac's they're not new to motorsport, but from the Formula One perspective, this is new. This is new for
Yeah.
everybody.
Cool. Well, cool. I mean, overall, I think it was a great rollout from the
Yeah.
entire, team. The only thing that obviously ended up overshining it was the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey proposal
Yeah, I
announcement.
mean, couldn't have
But
come at
they
a
still,
worse time, but whatever.
but and it ended up still. I mean, I still heard like a lot about it. Just even from not just the F1 community. So I think it ended up getting enough attention overall, and
Yeah.
obviously that's going to continue going as each of them, particularly Bottas, continues to do his TikToks and other social
Oh
media
yeah.
posts across the board.
Yep. Yep. It'll
Well,
be fun to
awesome.
watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely excited to see what happens next year, and I'll definitely be keeping an eye on the Cadillac team, and
Oh,
I'll probably
it'd be hard to miss them.
yeah, exactly. Well, cool. So thanks so much for taking the time to come on
Yeah.
and talk about the the marketing strategies of the F1 announcement.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And how can people find you?
At Vincenzo Landino on Twitter. That's probably the best spot for me.
Awesome. And if they want to learn more about the business of F1.
Bizofspeed.com. Someone owns businessofspeed.com, so don't go there. It's
Oh,
bizofspeed.com. Yeah,
well, that'll be
BIZ of speed.
okay. Awesome. And
Yeah.
then you can follow the Meme Team Podcast at Meme Team Pod on YouTube and then on Meme Team Podcast on Spotify. Thanks so much. See ya.